Hey guys, so today I wanted to share just a quick video on some tips and just some food for thought if you were thinking about joining the profession of nursing and starting off with your prerequisite career. I kind of feel like a lot of YouTubers don't touch base on this too often, so I just wanted to make a quick video stating some of my opinions on some things, some different methods that I think really benefit the upcoming nursing student, and just gonna give my thoughts on some different things. One of the first things that I think is most important before you can even think about starting any program like nursing is think about the financial implications that it'll have on your life. When it comes to a major like nursing, finances definitely play a role. I can't speak for any other majors, maybe there's other majors out there that will be more expensive, but I think with nursing, it's definitely one of the top ones that are out there. That includes, just a normal tuition, that typically includes lab fees and, the amount of time the lecture is. Some prerequisite classes can be up to 3 hours long. That's how my Anatomy 2 class was. Some of the financial things you need to think about are textbooks. I was spending around $450 to $500 a semester on textbooks just because, you need to have resources that you could possibly get. Whether that be, the online videos that you watch or the actual material in the textbook or some supplemental guides that may come with some textbooks. It doesn't hurt to have more than what you need. And I wanted to make sure that I not only had what was required, but, more, so then that way I was able to kind of, dive into the material and really get it locked in my head. Another thing to think about as far as finances would probably be the amount of time you need to put into it. And, you may think, Tommy, what do you mean by time? What I mean by time is you're going to be studying a lot, and you're going to start forming study groups, I hope, and you're going to be spending a lot of time in classes, especially, if you're me, you're going to want to be in school full-time in order to, be eligible for those different scholarships and financial aid things, and it's going to take up a good majority of your time, and if it's taking up a lot of your time, that means less time for working, and if there's less time for working, then that means that there's less money in your pocket. So that's definitely something to consider. I was working part-time and going to school full-time, and I really don't have any shame in it. I mean, I know there's people that are able to go to school full-time and work full-time, and, kudos to you, because I don't have the mental energy for that, in all honesty. I was wanting to focus most of my attention on my schoolwork, so I was only wanting to work part-time, and thankfully I'm in a situation where that worked out for me. But that's something to think about, and it depends on who you are, the type of learner you are. Can you sleep on 4 hours? I can't. So, that's something else to, take into account. So I just wanted to show you guys the different textbooks. I have more in my closet, but I really don't feel like digging all them out. This first, and mind you, these are specific to my program, and it could be different with other nursing programs. It really all just depends on your school. But this was my general biology textbook that I have. I took this my first semester of college. And I want to say that for Gen Bio, this was definitely a class that definitely utilized the textbook. They definitely have some graphs in here and different models to show you certain things, like, I don't know if you can see it, but this shows the, what is this? This is the different structures of proteins and enzymes and things. And, relating those to the lecture notes, I think really definitely helped me get more of like a mental picture, because I'm definitely more of a visual and tactile learner. There's a plethora of information in this textbook, and they definitely have some pretty useful reviews. The end of each chapter has these different reviews in them, And I can remember going through them and just, trying to answer questions without looking at my notes, and just trying to get like a visual image of everything. When it comes to sciences, you can't go wrong with visual learning. And then you have more textbooks, like this was my nutrition textbook. Nutrition, in all honesty, I think nutrition is good. I think it's a great class, but I'm not sure if it's really vital to nursing, in my opinion. If it's not a requirement of your program, but it's recommended, it's not the end of the world if you don't take it. It was required for me, so I had to take it, but if you don't have to, it's not the end of the world. And this was just my chemistry textbook. Chemistry wasn't required for me, but the program I'm in it's like a concurrent program with my state college, Seminole State College, and then my University of Central Florida. And when I was doing my pre-reqs, thinking about my application for nursing, it was recommended that you take the chemistry class because it would look better and it would put you of a higher priority than others on an application for the concurrent program with the two schools. So I just kind of played it safe, and I think it helped a little. I don't think it was vital to my knowledge, for nursing, but, when it comes to programs like these, it can never hurt to put yourself, you kind of have to put yourself on a pedestal and kind of look better than everyone else, make sure your GPA is high, make sure if your program requires it, you have letters of recommendation, any job shadowing experience, and then like classes like those, if you have any classes that are recommended but aren't required, I highly recommend taking them, just because it will put you at a higher tier than other people. And, you want to increase your chances for being accepted into the program as much as possible. Last thing I wanted to talk about was the Ttest test. Now, if you don't know what the Ttest test is, it stands for the Test of Essential Academic Skills. And this is kind of like the MCAT for nursing. It is our entrance exam. Not all nursing schools require them, but as time progresses, more and more nursing schools are requiring them. My program required specifically a 78% or higher to be admitted into the program, and that was the minimum to be even to have your application even looked at. So you could have like a 4.0 GPA, you could have all the job shadowing experience you want, you could have mountains of letters of recommendation, but if your Ttest test score was a 77 and not a 78, they wouldn't even give it a second thought looking at your application. And it sucks, but that's just kind of the way things are now. So this is the Ttest test is created by the company ATI, and they sell a study manual as well as practice tests, and this is what the study manual looks like. I think this was $80-something. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure, but by my mistake. So what happened was I took the Ttest twice. My first time I took it, I didn't study for it, and I didn't have this manual. I went to Barnes & Noble and I bought a cheap knockoff by Kaplan of the Ttest test, and it is significantly different than this. This is written by the people who write the test, and I think this was a lot, it's pretty thin. Mind you, I have some notes in there, but it's pretty thin. But even though it's thin, it's definitely so much more helpful than any book you could get at Barnes & Noble. This book has rationale for every single problem. It has little summaries and, just a whole bunch of information that I think was really helpful, that was better than other products. So that's something to take into consideration when you're thinking about joining the nursing profession, starting in college. You will have to take an entrance exam, and it's not the hardest thing I've ever done. If I could relate it to anything, it's in Florida we have something called the FCAT, and it's basically our standardized tests in public schools. I know in Virginia, I think it used to be called the SOL just because I used to live there. Every state has one, but if I could relate it to a test, it would be something like that. can you do basic math? Can you do basic science, English, you know, like nouns, adverbs? It's one of those things where it's easy, but you need to review it because, you know, when you're my age and you just have graduated high school and you were doing like calculus, and then you go and take a test on like fractions and stuff, you know, I definitely need a review with things like that. So I thought it was definitely helpful for me. So one last thing I want to mention is if you're planning on starting your career in nursing, you know, you've heard so many great things about nursing, you really think it's something that you want to do, I would sit back and, you know, write a pros and cons list. You know, it's simple, but it really works, you know. Does this work for me? Does this not work for me? Am I able to do this at this time? Am I not able to do this at this time? You know, it's one of those things where you really need to sit down and think about it because it is a major and a career that will take 100% of your effort. And, you know, if you don't have your heart, if it's not something that's in your heart to do, then why waste your money and your time doing it? Great benefits of nursing. Nurses get paid very well, base salary nurses, and then, you know, if you choose to specialize in something, then, you know, you can live comfortably for the rest of your life off of being a nurse. Or, you know, going on and getting your master's or doctorate, you know, as a nurse practitioner or a nurse anesthetist or something like that. You know, it all depends. But, you know, when you're first starting out, if it's not something you're able to put your heart into, you know, in my opinion, why waste the time? It's one of those things where you can't just sit down, memorize facts, take a test, and be done. You know, this is information that you are going to be learning, and this is information that you are going to be applying to real people. And personally, I would not like to have a nurse care for me who just barely got by passing tests, you know, just straight memorizing facts, you know. I would like a nurse who, you know, put in their time, put in their heart to learning the material and applying it to real life concepts, and being able to not only regurgitate the information, but, you know, just being able to be a overall well-rounded nurse. It's not for everyone, you know. This is a program that is specific. You know, there's going to be, you know, awesome parts, you know, learning about, you know, when babies are born, how their heart starts developing. You know, it's incredible learning about how life is formed in the human body. But there's the system work. There's going to be, you know, great parts and not so great parts. But it is a very rewarding career, and, you know, it's something that will, it's something that will make you feel fulfilled in your life. So, just some food for thought. Alright guys, well I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions for me. I'll try to respond. My schedule is pretty busy now that I'm in nursing school. I pretty much only have 2 days free of not doing anything, and typically during those days I'm studying. So that's my life. But if I can, I will try to get to them as soon as I can. So I hope you like this video. I'm probably going to start making more. I'll probably make like a series of different videos, kind of like an active vlog, if you know what I mean, as my time through school continues. So that's all I have. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. See ya.